Okay, today we will discuss first TestNG framework. It is one more another important Selenium framework, and which is better than JUnit. So let us see in TestNG framework how to create a test cases and how to create test suites and how to create data-driven scripts. These three concepts. Let us create new project for this TestNG framework. New Java project. Create TNG project. Okay, finish this. Create a new TestNG project and add all jar files. Go to properties, Java build path, add Selenium jar file first and POI jar file to read data. Okay, and add library TestNG jar file. We have to select here TestNG jar file. Yeah, finish. It is added. Okay, that's all. Click OK. Done. Create. Now similarly create different packages for different packages. Create packages, test cases, and let's create test components. Support. Okay. Test suites. Okay. And create test data folder. Copy the folder from JUnit project. I will copy this folder as it is. Copy this into TestNG framework. Refresh. Yeah, done. Copy it. Okay. First, let us see that how to create a script in TestNG framework. Create a script under. Okay, first let us copy this POI data file, Java file from JUnit framework. Test it. Okay. What is this problems? Maybe compiler problem. Go to compiler, change that compiler version to 1.7. Done. Yeah, done. Now I will do small changes now in this POI data file. Okay, first create test case here. Right click, new, others. Go to TestNG class. Create a new TestNG class. give the name tc underscore irctc 001. So here also we have same kind of annotations like in JUnit: before method, after method, before class, after class, before test, after test. In JUnit it is just before, and here it is before test. We have tried. So we can take this, but we are not going to use this one simply for checking that. And at the time of creating TestNG class, we can define one XML suite. This XML file is nothing but test suite XML file. That means the test suites in TestNG framework will be defined inside XML file, not in separate Java file like in Java JUnit framework. In JUnit framework we define the test suites in separate Java file, but in TestNG framework we define the test suites inside XML file. So just we have to define that XML file name. Okay, simply I will define here suites .xml. It should be XML file. Finish it. See, if you look at here, that XML file will be created automatically. See, it is the XML file. You can see that code, XML tags. We will see that. We will come to this XML file later. First, let us see that test case, how it is created. The test case. Okay, yeah, so here we can define the test. Here it is the test already. Okay, cool. Give here the test case name as same thing, tc, give test underscore tc underscore irctc 001, and simply display system dot out dot print line. Okay, now similarly create here. This is same as in JUnit, how it works before and after, same like in JUnit. This method will be running before this test, and this method will be running after this test execution. Okay, so I'm not going to this here. I will remove this directly. Okay, now let us define directly a data driven script in TestNG framework. See, in TestNG framework, how to define data driven test, here we have two steps. In JUnit we have three steps to define data driven script, and here two steps. The first one is we have to define data provider. We have to create here at the rate of data provider is the annotation we should use. So inside this data provider we should define one function which returns multiple values, multiple data from the data file. So that many times that particular test will be running. That is the concept. Okay. In the JUnit we are using parameters, 8 parameters annotation. Here it is 8 data provider annotation. import data provider TestNG annotation. Okay, done. And here we should define a method, one function public. So it should be static always. This function should be defined as always static, even in the parameters also in the JUnit function should be static. Public static get test data I'm defining, and what is the value it should return. It should return here iterator. What type of iterator it is? It is object iterator. Object array iterator. See here, it returns this function should return list. Iterator is nothing but list iterator. In the list, if you have suppose 10 items, and if you want to iterate through all the items, then we can use one object called iterator. That is called iterator. Iterator of objects array. That means each array. That means what type of iterator it is. Each iterator should be array of object. Objects array. Each iterator item is object array here. That means there should be one list with object arrays. That is the written value, and for that list we are generating iterators, and that iterator will be returned back. Okay, so here it should be the written value for this function iterator, and download this iterator from Java utility. And what is this error? Yeah, we have return statement. Okay, fine. And before that we should define some variables. Okay, yeah. See, what is that variables? I am defining one variable here. Define static POI data Excel equal to new POI data. Import this support package. Yes, it is imported. Now this error is gone. So inside this get test data function, I am going to define. See, inside POI, go to POI data. I will be doing small changes here. Here I am going to define the test case ID. Will it work? Or we can use as it is. How we are defining this POI data? Okay. So this function should return. See here inside POI data we defined what we defined here, get iterations. So we have to get iterations, but this get iterations function should return the data not as a collection. It should be returned as a iterators, list iterator object. So we'll be doing small change here. Rows is nothing but collection. Collection means a list of object array. So what I will be returning now here, I will be changing here. The return value should be iterator object array. So I will change here the return value rows dot iterator. Done. I am returning here only the return data we are changing. In the JUnit we are returning simply as it is, the list as it is, but now we are return list iterator as a return value. Okay, that is the difference we are doing. Import this iterator from Java util. Done. Gone. So now in this test case we can assign this test case name. What is that? Excel dot, there is no test ID. Oh, we have to pass it here. Correct. Return Excel dot get iterations, and here we have to pass the test ID. Got it. Test case name. What is the test case name? Well, let us define here test case ID for global variable also. Here static string test ID equal to, what is the test case name? This is the test case name, correct? In the data file, that is the test case name. And similarly define one iteration variable with value 1, default value 1. Done. Clear? Okay, this iteration also not required actually. It is not required here, but anyway, test ID we are passing as input. Why it's showing error? Semicolon is missing. Create local variable. Oh, T is missing. Test ID. Okay. So this statement returns iterations data. Clear now? Okay. Now I want, see in the JUnit what we are doing after this, we are defining one constructor, and in that constructor we are passing whatever the values this function returns. This function returns in each list item 2 values, test case name and iteration number. So in the JUnit what we are doing, we are defining one constructor, and in that constructor we are mapping those 2 values with these 2 variables, and these variables we are using inside the script, inside the test. That's what we did. But here there is no constructor also required, not required here, constructor. So what we need here, after this at test annotation, you should define here data provider equal to, give this function name, get test data. That's it. Clear? Got it now? See what we are doing, data provider, we are writing this after this test, we are writing this data provider equal to get test data. That means this test will be running by using the values written by this function. This function, this test will be executed for all the values, for all the items which are returned by this function. Understand? Clear? See, only 2 steps here in the TestNG framework to create data driven script. One is we have to define data driver function and just map this function, assign this function name to data provider parameter. It is called parameter. It is a parameter. Data provider is a parameter name. And what is a data provider function? Get test data is a function which returns multiple data for this test, and those values I want to run inside this. Here I want to use. Clear? So here we have to pass those 2 arguments. See, this data provider function returns one list items, and each list item contains 2 values. So those 2 values we have to pass into this test by defining 2 arguments here. So define here 2 arguments, string test case and string iteration. I will remove this iteration here, it is not required. Clear? I define here two test cases, two arguments, because this function returns list items with two values. Each item contains two values. So we have to pass those two values into this test. That's why we are defining here two arguments. Got it? We define here two arguments. Now here we can write as it is our normal functions. Create a components. Okay, let us create first components. Components not yet defined, right? Here not defined. So let us copy same components from JUnit, whatever we defined here, because we can use same components. It is common Java code. It is not related to JUnit or TestNG. It is simply Java code. So we can use this file as it is. Copy this. Inside test components, I will copy this. Then open this components file. Okay, set a driver, subdriver, done. Now components space, define some variable, object, create components object, components object, done. Import this components package, test components package, so that error is gone. Okay, now call all components one by one. Whatever the components you want to run inside this test case, we can call those components one by one. And before that, we have to get the data to run this components. What data we have to use? So how to get that particular data? We have to define here. Define here hash map. We have to define hash map with the string comma string td equal to excel dot get data, and we have to pass here test case id and iteration variables as input. Done. And import this hash map from Java util package. Done. Now you can call all the components one by one. Component dot set driver td. Next one, component dot open URL. Next one, component dot what is the next? Login detail. Enter login details. Login, right? Login. Next one, component dot verify alert. Done. And finally close that. Component dot close. Fine. These are the components we are calling one by one inside this test case. Got it? It is a simple one now. What is that? Okay, done. Done. So it is very simple now. Now let us run this script now. Then see that is it no. We have to change this data file. Anything? Data file path is right? Correct only. Nothing to change in POI data file. Remove this. Done. Okay. See, in the POI data file also we have done one small change. Only return type we modified. That's it. Same POI data file we are using in this framework as well. Okay. Now let me run this test case. Now let us see that. Getting FF. Hello. Zooming. Okay, it is running first iteration. I will stop this process. It may take some time. Zooming. Hello. Okay. So simply the way of organizing, how you are organizing your steps and the test suits will be different framework to framework. Okay, third iteration. Done. See here this test engine results how it is. Fast, fast, fast. See three the times 3 runs we have done and no failures and no skips. So we can see HTML report also for this TestNG framework. Where this one, just refresh. See output. When you after finishing the execution in the TestNG framework, if you refresh this project, it will add one new folder, test output. Here you can see HTML report for our execution. See there is some index file, right? This is the file. We can open this file in HTML browser, web browser. See that results. Show that. Okay. So 3 results are passed, 3 test cases are passed. The same test case running 3 times and all 3 are passed. Clear? So like this it will generate somewhat a better, in JUnit we cannot get any HTML report, but in TestNG you will get somewhat some kind of HTML result file can be generated here. So here you can show how many were executed, how many failed, all those things we can see clearly here in detail. Okay. This is after running every run, just if you refresh, you have to refresh this project folder, then this result will be updated automatically with the latest run details. And then if you open this index.html file, it will show you the results. Okay. Mm. Any one file, one HTML report enough. That is enough. Only HTML report is enough. What they uh, yeah, these are all. Yeah, maybe. See, pass the script. Screenshots also might be there. Okay. All are supporting files. We don't need all those things. Just only index.html file is a result file where you can see our run results, execution results. Okay. So this is a test and ifan output is a folder. It will be created after finishing execution. Okay. So this is how we create a TestNG script in TestNG framework. In the TestNG framework also we have same kind of annotations. In JUnit also we have some annotations like at before, at after, at before class, at after class, like that. And in TestNG also we have annotation similarly, at before test, at after test, at before class, at after class, like that. And how we are creating data driven script in TestNG framework is very simple. Let us create one more test case. Let me create one more test case in TestNG. Go to test cases, right click, go to new, TestNG test case. It's not there. TestNG class. Click this next. At the time of creating a class, it will ask you to select XML file name. This inside this XML file we can create test suites. We can define the test suites. We already created this XML file at the time of creating first test case itself. So we no need to create one more thing. So you can leave this blank second time, because this XML file already we created here, suits.xml, test suits.xml. Okay. Let me create here one more, test suits.xml. Just for simply, I'm creating one more thing, XML, test suits.xml. Okay. And these are the different annotations available in TestNG framework. If you want, we can add those annotations to your TestNG test case. But right now, just we need only at data provider. This is the annotation we are using now to make our data test case data driven script. We are using this annotation, data provider annotation. Select this annotation and give the test case name, TC underscore IRCTC 002. Okay. Finish. Done. Okay. So let us define this first, data provider. Okay. And there is one more option actually. Okay, fine. Let us see that. See here, there is one more value, one more data type we can return. Object array, two-dimensional array can be returned to run our script multiple iterations, or iterator object should be returned. Either objects array, two-dimensional array, or list iterator can be returned as a return value by this data provider function. Only then this TestNG script can be executed multiple iterations. Okay. See, let us make our iterator, because our data, our test iterations function, get test iterations function returns iterator. So we are using here iterator object array, and give here get test data, import this utility. Now remove all those things. Now define here what we have to define, POI object, POI I data td, sorry, not td, excel equal to new poi data. Then import this class. Then okay, and now let me try. I'm trying one more new thing here. H rule, I'm defining one more annotation, rule annotation, import, sorry, I imported JUnit rule, wrong. Oh, there is no TestNG rule here. Leave this one then, not required. Okay, just return excel dot get iterations, and here you have to pass the test case name tc underscore irctc 002. For this test case, we want to get all the iterations from the data file. So this function returns all the iterations as a list iterators. Okay, clear? Now you define this function name inside this data provider parameter inside the test annotation. Inside test annotation, we have to pass this data provider parameter value. It is nothing but data provider function name. That's it. And here, see, this function returns list iterator object. So that list iterator object contains object array. That inside that object array there are two values, string and string. So we should define here string. What is the test case name? Test underscore, test case name should be tc underscore irctc 002 is the test case, and here string is nothing but test case name, and the second one is iteration. These are the two values will be returned by this function in each item, in each list item, in each list iterator. Each list iterator object contains two values. Those two values are strings. So we are defining two string variables inside this test case method, inside the test case function. And now define here components. Define a component object. Components comp equal to new, or we can define these components. Okay, fine, leave it to components. Then import this package, test components package. Done. Now get the test data. The test data will be written as a hash map. So define that hash map to receive that test data for each iteration. Hash map of string comma string td test data equal to excel dot get data, and here we are passing test case and iteration as input. Clear? Import this hash map from Java util package. Now call all components one by one. Same comp dot set driver. Next one component dot open URL. Next component dot login. Component dot verify alert. See, but here I want to run same test case in Chrome browser. Okay, let us try that. Or in IE browser also we can try it, no problem. Let us try IE browser. We have already IE driver in my system. You have to download this IE driver or Chrome drivers. Okay. See, inside this components file, if you want to run IE driver, then you have to add one more case here. Understand? Case, it should be IE, and here we should set here system dot set properties. Set properties. One second. What is that property name? Yeah, set property. Here we should write here. We have to set one property, WebDriver dot IE dot driver, comma. We have to give here that IE driver path, where you have that IE driver exe file in your system. So that IE driver exe file path should be defined here. Set property, not properties. Set property. Okay. So we are setting here IE driver. See, here we are using Firefox driver. So Firefox driver, there is no separate driver for Firefox. By default, WebDriver will support Firefox. So that's why we are not setting any path here. But when you want to run your script in different browser other than Firefox, then you should have to download that particular browser WebDriver exe file. We have to download from the seleniumhq.org website. Then we have to place that in some folder, and that path should be defined here. See, in my system, I have that drivers here. Inside the driver, see, it is my IE driver, it is my Chrome driver. Okay. See, it is my IE driver file. So take this path and define that a driver name, IE driver, copy that name, .exe, it is a exe file. Okay. So make it double slashes every time. Similarly, if you want to run for Chrome, again you have to define same kind of Chrome driver path, and we have to change it here. Driver name, Internet Explorer driver, it is Internet Explorer driver, and we have to import this. Import. Done. Similarly, for Chrome also we have to add one more case. Chrome, ch, I am giving ch. So again, Chrome driver name, it is a Chrome driver name. Just make this, it is a Chrome driver, and this is a Chrome driver. That's it. Import this driver. Now we can run our script by using any of these browsers. Okay, let us say that now. My second test case I want to run by using three browsers, Firefox, IE and Chrome. I will be running 3 iterations, same script, and in each iteration I want to run in different browser. Let us say that one. Okay, clear? Clear now how we are doing, how we are adding different drivers for different browsers in our Selenium script. Now open this data file in the TestNG framework. See, I have test suites, right? I will move this test suites XML file into this test suites folder package. Done. Okay. First let us run test case 2 individually, then we will see that how to run the test suite. Okay. Now open this test data file. Add a second test case data. Yeah, there is no second test case. Just I will copy same data, insert, but here change the name, test case name to 2. Copy this, and here I will be changing the browser name, Firefox, IE and ch. URL is same and data is same, only the browsers I am changing. Then save it and close that file. Now run our second test case alone. Let us see that whether the script is running. Close it. After that, come dot close. Done. Okay, and inside the close I will write here quit statement also. One second. WebDriver, I want to close WebDriver also, wd.quit. Then WebDriver will be closed permanently. Okay, done. Now let me run this second test case and now see that how it is running. First one, it is running Firefox. It is a Firefox, right? Firefox is opened. Okay. It is a first iteration. Done. Close. Now IE. See, it is taking. Okay, something happening. First time we are running, right? IE. Hello access. It is opening IE, but it is something error. It's not running, but it is trying to run the script in IE browser. Okay. See, now it should run. No, it is opening. There is console. It's running still, second iteration. Okay. See, it is taking time. What is that application? Still it is running, second iteration. Still here it is not opened here, application. Maybe after 120 seconds or something, it may be failed if that is not open, and it will continue third iteration. Still not open. Why it is blank? It is failed. Two fails. Okay, what is the failure? Let us see that. First failure. The first failure is this one. Timeout. Okay, loading timeout. IE. And the third one, this one, third iteration. Must be set. There is something wrong. Oh, Chrome driver.exe. Maybe something wrong in our setting. Chrome driver setting. Where is that? Components. Chrome driver.exe. Correct, right? Oh, sorry. We should change this. It is not IE, right? It is a Chrome driver. We have to give here Chrome driver. CHROME Chrome. Okay. Now it will run. Third iteration it will be executed using Chrome browser successfully. Okay. So like this we can run our make our automation scripts in TestNG, data driven scripts, and also with the multiple browsers we can run using TestNG script. Now come to this test suite. In this test suite XML file, see here we have some XML tags to define the test suites in the TestNG framework. Suite name, we can define some suite name, or suppose if you can define some project name IRCTC, and what is a suite test, smoke test. Under this smoke test I want to call, see it is running first one test case only added here. I will add one more test case. Just copy this class. See, for each test case we define one separate class, correct? So define that class test case, first test case 1. It is test case 1, it is test case 2, that's it. Now if you run this XML file, it will execute 2 test cases. Okay, now let us try this. Like this we can add n number of test cases using class XML tag. Using class XML tag you can add n number of test cases and to this test suite. Similarly you can add one more test suite by adding another test tag. Another test tag with another different name, and add different set of test cases under that. So like that you can add n number of suites inside this XML file. Now run this XML suite. Let us see that how it is running. See TestNG suite we have to select. I want run as a XML TestNG suite. Running. Say first one is running. Okay, Firefox. It is running in the Firefox. It is the first iteration. Okay, second iteration of the first test case. Third iteration. First iteration we are running in Firefox. In second test case. So third iteration it is running, right? First test case, third iteration. Now it will go to second test case. Second test case, first iteration in Firefox. Done. Now second iteration IE. Okay, stop it. Now what is the error? Now there is some other error, maybe element is not identified, but it should identify. It should not be any problem. Let us see. Yeah, it is failed, I guess. Oh, enter. It is running very slowly. Yeah, still running. IE. Yes. It's running, taking time. Maybe. Done. Closed. Okay. See, now it is Chrome. First time it is opening, that's why this dialog box is coming. Okay. It is entering third iteration in the Chrome browser. So all are passed now. See, if you see the results now, results of running, you can see the results here. Same thing. You can see in HTML file also, and also you can see here results. See, it is a test suite we are running, smoke test. It is XML suite name and smoke test. Under that we have running two test cases. First test case 3 iterations, second test case 3 iterations. Clear? We are running 3 iterations, all are passed. And if there is any failed cases, it will show you here, and summary. How many passed, total time, how much time it is taken. And now if you go and see HTML result file, just we have to refresh this folder, refresh this to get HTML result file. Now go to test output, open this with web browser. See that here, 6 cases, all are passed. All 6 cases are passed. Okay. So we executed 6 and all 6 are passed. See, this is the part we can go. What is this? Just change it. Okay, folder. Okay, XML file path, that one. Ignored methods. Okay. Same test case names will be displayed. Okay. Okay, got it. First you try this. You try this once. This one, any one case using TestNG framework. Execute that, and I will show you now one more thing: how to define keywords Okay, and so that we can make our components coding more easier. Components coding we can make more easier, more simple. Instead of writing all those things, what we can do, I will define here one more inside support file, or inside components file itself. Inside components I will define one more class. In the components I will define one more class. Step keywords or action keywords, I will say. Action keywords. It is a normal Java code we are going to write here. Just select simply. Done. Inside action keywords, you define keywords for public. Suppose to enter the value. To enter the value, how you are entering the value? Let us see that. Is it possible to extend this? No, I will do one thing. I will define this as web element. By find, right? Okay. Okay, what I will do, public void, suppose enter text is my first method. I'm first a keyword I'm defining. See, to this, right, I have to call this inside actually web element. I want to call this. For any web element I want to call this method. What it will do, it should automatically enter the value into that web element. That means I want to add this keyboard to web element class. So how we can do this one? Okay. Meant dot okay. Okay, let us define that. Well, maybe if you do add that page object model, then we can do that. Now timing, we'll do one small thing I'll show you. See, timing, I will pass here web element as input. Web element I am passing as input. Okay. Elements, comma, value. What value you want to enter? I have to pass those two things as inputs to this method. Import this. Now ELM is a web element dot clear. After clearing, we have to enter. See, one more thing we have to check that first. If this input is empty or not. If val is not equal to null, only then I want to run this enter the value. Got it? If it is none, I don't want enter, skip that one simply. Got it? So ELM dot, what is that? Send keys value. Done. Now put this inside try, because I want to capture error also. If any error occurs during this steps execution, I want to capture that error as well. Catch exception e dot print stack trace. Done. See, we are doing two things here. Error handling we are doing, and we are checking that whether input data is null or not. If it is null, I don't want to run this step. I want to ignore that step. So that condition we are adding, and we are adding 2 steps inside this try catch block to clear the value and enter the value. Done. This is my enter text keyword method function. Now similarly define select list, for example. To select a list or to click link element, yeah, 1 second. Okay, now so I will define here click element, for example. Click element, I will define one more keyword, click element. Okay, so web element, just we have to pass here web element simply, and also if you want you can pass value. This value is not mandatory. Okay, to click this element we can pass some value, junk value, and simply here we have to click simply elm.click. That's it. Done. Similarly define one more method for select list item. To select a list item, I want to define one more element, select list web element, what value you want to select. Okay, now how to select that list? What is the statement? We have to use select class lst items equal to new select. We have to give that element elm elements and import this select class from support UI from here. Yeah, after that we have to select here items dot select visible value. What value? VAL. That's it. This is the statement to select a list item. This is the code we have tried every time whenever you want to select a list item in any list box. So that means we need to write all these statements actually, or at least we should write these 3 statements. Value condition should be added and these 2 statements should be added. So at least 3 lines of code we should write to select an item in the list box every time. So now similarly I will define one more select checkbox or set checkbox. I will make it as set checkbox. So this value should be on or off. If that value is on, then I want to select that one. If value is off, I don't want to select that one. Like that I have to. Okay, so if value, I have to give here if value is equals ignore case on, it is on. That means we want to select the checkbox. To select the checkbox, what we have to do? First we have to find that whether that element is selected or not already. Is selected. If it is already selected, then we should not select it. If not is selected. If that element is not already selected, then only we have to click that. Correct. elm dot click it. That's it. Got it point? If you want to select that checkbox, first I am checking that if that checkbox is unselected, click on that, then it will be selected. If it is not unselected, don't click it. It is already selected state. Got it? So that is the logic. So enter else if, no, I have to go to here, else if, I have to close this, else if value dot equal ignore case, if it is equal to off, then we have to check for selected, is it selected or not. If it is selected, then we have to click this. we have to remove this on not, that's it. So this is the logic. What is the problem? Done. So this is a state method we can use to set the checkbox either on or off, to select or unselect both. We can use this statement, set checkbox method. Clear? Suppose if you want to move the control to some other window, so like that, for every action we can define one function like this. For every small actions we can define some functions, then we can use those functions inside our components. Just I will write one small thing, not for all the thing. So for example, you have this find element by dot id, right? Okay. See, actually, see here there is one more disadvantage. If you write like this, that means you are using username here, correct? Suppose in another function, if you want to use same username field, again you will be defining the property there. That means in two places you will be defining the properties. Suppose in tomorrow, in future, if there is any changes in that property, then we have to modify in all the places. So that is not the correct way. So we should define always object properties only at one place, so that our maintenance will be easy for us. So we can easily maintain that one. Got it? Just sit there, mine will be coming. Okay. Okay. Got it. So actually this is not the correct good way of approach. So that's why we are planning to go discuss in next session page object model. In the page object model, what we will be doing, you will be defining all page object properties in one class file. For each page we will be creating one class file, and inside that class file we will be defining all the objects. That's it. Then you will be using that objects in all the functions wherever you want. That is called page object model. So instead of defining object properties directly inside the functions, inside our components, you will define that object properties in separate place. Yeah, then it can be reusable and maintenance will be easier. That approach is page object model approach. That we'll see in the next session how to do that page object model. But time being, see, once if you implement that page object model, then using of these action keywords will be very easier. Okay. But now we will see, we will use these keywords maybe in the next session, not now. Okay. How to use these keywords? It's very simple. Once you define the page object model, that means you are defining the object inside the page object class. Simply you have to use that class dot this keyword. That's it. It will finish your step. That means inside this components you no need to write all these statements. Simply you will be calling that page object what we defined there, and we'll be calling this keyword as well. That's it. And you will be passing input for that. So you no need to know all these syntaxes, all those things every time. Okay. So also lines of code will be reduced to 50%. Half of the lines of code will be removed. So coding will be done very faster if you use that approach. Okay. So that is about TestNG framework and JUnit. Really, if you know these two frameworks perfectly, and then if you attend any Selenium interviews, it will be easy to go through that interviews. See, just whatever the concepts we discussed, these are the main concepts we will be using in any Selenium project. And apart from that, if you know these two frameworks, JUnit and TestNG framework, that's it. We can easily work in Selenium project directly. But only thing you have to practice a little better what is that XPaths and all those things, all those stuff. How to use define XPaths for different elements in the pages, in the web page. That if you are able to do that, that's it. Nothing else. Okay. So today we have some time. If you want, you can practice the same thing, Sujata here, so that I can help you if you want anything. So just create this test case 1 using TestNG framework, and just create this and see the execution. If you can do some execution with hands on, right, then it will be better. Jomi, you have any doubts, Jomi? Hello? So you have these two files. No, what is that? So just a py data file already. You copied that, right? Py file and components file you have already. Just simply you have to create. Just simply this case only you have to create. That's it. It will run. This test case and this test case too have to create. And then you can easily do that. So this TestNG framework is more easier than JUnit. It will be little better option. So just I will reduce the lines of code. Okay, just I will try to reduce the lines of code in the test case. It is not required. Leave this one. Let us define this directly here. Remove the statements, not required. And here also remove this hash map, all these things not required. It is a somewhat complex. Remove this input. Like this I will make my script, our script. Just small changes I am doing. See, we have to make some changes in the components as well now. In the components where changes, yeah, define here one constructor, components, public components. Please add this constructor in your components file. Just add this public components. Okay, and inside this define here Excel file, POI public POI data Excel equal to new POI data. That's it. Done. And here define, import this and define one more private variable hash map. Here I am defining hash map. It is one time, no need to define for every test case. Hash map, define one time, string, comma, string, define that variable td. Okay, td, that's it. Then inside this components constructor, to this constructor you will be passing two things, string test id, comma, string iteration. That's it. String iteration. So now Excel dot test id equal to test id oh sorry, now we have to modify a little in POI data also. In POI data we have to add some two global variables. here. Inside POI data, I am adding two global variables. Public, static, define here. Static, sorry, public string, directly enough, string, test ID equal to null, null, done. And similarly add one more string iteration equal to 1, default 1. That means instead of defining inside the test case, we are defining these two variables inside the POI data file. These are the two changes we are doing, small things, okay? That's it. See here, you are nothing to pass here, get data, nothing to pass here. Remove these two variables because you will be using directly these variables here, from here. Again, no need to pass any variables here. Remove this. Just simply get data. Similarly, get iterations. Get iterations also, nothing to pass any data. Remove this. That's it. These are the changes. Define two global variables, test ID, iteration, and remove this. Same name we have to define. Whatever the name we are passing here, same names I defined here. Test ID, iteration, and I removed it here. That's it, I have done. And in the component file, what changes I am doing? I am adding TD hash map. And inside this components constructor, I am defining excel.testid equal to test ID and excel.iteration equal to iteration, ITER. Done. Now get here TD equal to excel.get data over. That's it. We're inside the components constructor, we are defining this method. That means now to reduce the lines of code in my test case every time, just I am making these changes. These are one-time changes. So now in my test case, look at that here. Here you have to pass test case name and iteration number. That's it you have to do. Then save it. All errors should gone. No, 1 second. Just we have to remove this, all these things now. This also not required. For all component functions, nothing to pass. Remove it. All these things not required. Input is not required. Just simply define that login method and remove this TD inputs. Done. Because we are defining TD as a global variable inside the component class, so we can use this TD variable directly inside all the func methods. You no need to pass TD every time as input. Understand what I am doing? See, now go and save this one. It will be gone. Iterations also nothing to pass. But we have to somewhere assign this. What we have to assign? Excel.test ID we have to assign. Test ID equal to test case name we have to assign. TC underscore IRCTC 001. It should be assigned before that. Yeah, that's it now. See, now our test case will be very simple. Just we can copy same thing, only we have to define this function every time. Above things are nothing to modify except this test case name. Whenever you want to create a new test case, you can take a copy and just modify this function alone. Names, that's it. Now save this. So error is gone. Yes. Hash map is not required. Remove this. Import as well. See, now the lines of code is reduced somewhat in the test case. You can try this way. In the components file, see that what I am doing, what I did, once again just I am showing. We declared these three. These are newly we added. POI data Excel we defined here, and hash map we declared here, and we define the constructor with inputs test ID and iteration. That's it. And we removed all the inputs in all the component methods, in component functions. These are the changes we have done. And in POI we have done one small change. I defined two global variables, test ID, iteration, and I removed all the inputs in all functions. That's it. So let me do same thing in my test case 2 also. In test case 2 also I am doing same thing. It is test case 2. Okay. I should add POI, right? Yeah. POI data. Sorry. Something wrongly done. Data provider. Here is there. This test case 2. That's it. And here you have to pass test case comma iteration, and that's it. This statement is not required anymore. Remove inputs. Close. That's it. Actually it's better. Yes. Done. Test case 1 and test case 2. Just to create first test case 1.